Lesson 5.2, Searching for Scientific Resources. The goals of this lesson are to prepare students for the final project by showing students where and how to find reliable scientific information, and by giving students a tool to use to quickly evaluate a resource. At the end of this lesson, students should be able to efficiently find appropriate resources for information, including consumer health websites, scholarly databases, and thesauri, evaluate information for currency, relevance, accuracy, authoritativeness, and purpose, and discuss the different audiences and purposes of varied information resources and the impact that has on research strategy. We'll achieve these goals by researching a topic together. You can review this lesson in the teacher manual and the student workbook. The teacher manual or lesson plan provides a minute-by-minute explanation of the lesson structure, including instructions on how to manage the discussion and the activity. The student workbook provides additional explanations for students. For this lesson, you will need to print one activity worksheet list per student, one CRAP checklist per student, one Lesson 5.1 homework worksheet per student, which is found in the Lesson 5.1 materials folder. Note, this homework prepares students for the activity in this lesson, 5.2, so you will want to assign it the day before you plan on teaching Lesson 5.2. And you will need one Lesson 5.2 homework worksheet printed per student. In addition, your class will need to use computers with access to the internet to complete this lesson's in-class activity. Before coming to class, students should complete the Lesson 5.1 homework, which asks them to research the question, does exercise improve high blood pressure? This homework does not ask them to answer the question, but to report what types of information they found. This is a great lesson to have your school's librarian participate in. They are an excellent source of information about where to find reliable, free scientific resources in your area. The key points of this lesson's do now are that high-quality health information on the internet is written for two types of audiences. Experts, like doctors and scientists. This information is usually the most accurate, but also the most complex and difficult to interpret. And consumers, which are the general public. This information may be out of date or be interpreted incorrectly, but it is generally easier to understand. And where you find health information determines whether it is trustworthy or not. We'll get there by having a short discussion with the students. This do now gets students to start thinking about the health information they can find on the internet. Not all information is written for the same types of audience, and not all information is reliable. The activity today will help parse out differences in health information online. The key points of this lesson's activity are that consumer health web pages can be an easy and accurate way to get information once you know who to trust. And to get more detailed information about mechanisms of a disease or molecular biology, reading an expert-level resource may become mandatory. We'll get there by having students work through the activity worksheet on their own, then reporting back to the class. The worksheet in the activity asks students to answer the question, can type 2 diabetes be reversed? By going to one of the trustworthy consumer health web pages. The Mayo Clinic, which provides information about diseases and health topics, as well as results from current research. Medline Plus, which offers reliable, up-to-date health information. Healthfinder.gov, which provides information on a wide variety of health topics pulled from over 1,000 government and nonprofit organizations. And the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, which provides expert and consumer health-related information on all areas of health and disease. Students will use the activity worksheet to report back their research findings and discuss how and where they found their information. Using the worksheet, students will be able to answer the following: the answer to the research question, or if they did not find an answer, an explanation as to why they didn't find one, how difficult or easy the consumer health resources were to use, what other websites they used, and how they might find more detailed information about the cellular changes that occur in type 2 diabetes. After students answer the questions on their worksheet, come back together as a class and review the answers together. Students likely will not find an answer to the research question on the consumer health websites because this is a new area of research, so the data haven't been around long enough to make it to the consumer health resource level. And reversing diabetes is actually a cellular change. Reading about a disease at the cellular level usually requires going to the expert level resources. The key points of this lesson's discussion are that while consumer health level resources are easy to search and understand, they rarely contain in-depth concepts or data. This requires going to the expert level resource. Certain databases hold and organize expert level resources. Strong vocabulary and search operators help you search more efficiently. And that you can quickly evaluate a resource for its value to you using the CRAP test. We'll get there by discussing tools to find resources with the students. The discussion focuses around 4 steps that students should use when finding and evaluating expert-level resources like scientific articles. Step 1, deciding where to search. Step 2, using good vocabulary. Step 3, building search formulas. And step 4, assessing your findings. It is in this step that we introduce the CRAP test, which is a quick checklist that helps students determine whether an expert-level resource they found is worth reading. CRAP stands for C, currency. 1, was the article published. R, relevance. Is the resource relevant to your topic? A, authority. Is the source credible? A, accuracy. Is the information supported by evidence? And P, purpose. Why does this resource exist? You can review each step in more detail in the teacher manual. Again, this is a great time to get your school or district's librarian involved. They love helping students find and assess resources. The key points of this lesson's homework are to review the content presented in the lesson and to give students an opportunity to practice researching a topic as a class before researching a topic on their own for their final project. We'll get there by having students use a worksheet to discuss how they would answer the question, does exercise improve high blood pressure? Students will use the worksheet as a guide to think about how they would go about answering the research question. The goal here is not to have students answer the question, but to have them outline how they would go about answering the question. This should help them clear their thoughts when they begin researching for the final project. The biggest challenge teachers face with this lesson in the classroom is that students often feel like they already know where to go to find good health information, yet fail to use reliable health information when researching their final project topics. The Lesson 5.1 homework was written so that students have to report where they find scientific information before they come to class. This way, teachers can see what websites students are using and make corrections if necessary. In nutrition especially, there are so many health blogs and news articles that misinterpret scientific data or simply use the results of one small study to make dietary recommendations. It is key to get the idea across to students that to evaluate a nutrition or dietary claim, they need to weigh all of the evidence they find from both consumer level and expert level resources. At the end of this lesson, students should be able to efficiently find appropriate resources for information, including consumer health websites, scholarly databases, and thesauri, evaluate information for currency, relevance, accuracy, authoritativeness, and purpose, and discuss the different audiences and purposes of varied information resources and the impact that has on research strategy. Don't forget that if you have any questions, concerns, or feedback, to let us know. You can contact any of the CTSE team members and we'll be happy to help you.